What's up? What's happening, Brother Brian? I'm trying a new camera out, so maybe it's a little better, or maybe it's not. Just trying, man. It doesn't hurt to try. Hope everybody's doing wonderful today. I got a video coming your way. I'm going to talk about some recent finds, and I've got a VCLT I want to get right into. Michael Christensen, the artist, created his own album, his own music. He's a friend of the vinyl community. He's a friend of Brother Brian, the czar of the vinyl community, and sent Brother Brian some VCLT. So, very appreciative. And I haven't opened the bottle yet, but I have been listening to the music on Spotify a little bit. I'm going to spin it today. It's a little early. It's Sunday. I slept in. I slept till like 11 o'clock, or 11 hours. It's 11 o'clock right now, but I slept 11 hours, man. So I'm still trying to wake up and all that kind of good stuff. But he wrote me a letter here. Very encouraging, kind, supportive. He sent me a Christmas card. Wrote me another, just very kind. He's a good soul. Michael's a good soul. And he loves music, man. That's what it's about. It's about enjoying music. But what he sent me here was this album right here, okay? And I haven't opened it yet. I have listened to it on Spotify. Now I'm going to open it and listen to it. It's Farmer Dave in the Wizards of the West. I don't know if it's coming in right. Farmer Dave and the Wizards of the West. Very cool album from Michael Christensen. ML Blue. If you ever see him show up on your channel, he's ML Blue. He's been around my channel for a long, long time. And my thoughts on this album. Okay, this is I enjoyed it. It's right up my alley. And a lot of you, it would probably be right up your alley as well. I don't know if it's a rocker. I did pull up some information. Let me read a little bit of this information to you so you understand who Farmer Dave, FDWOW, is what it says here. But that's what it says. Okay, Farmer Dave and the Wizards of the West self-titled album is a breezy slice of psychedelic West Coast Americana that takes the listener on a voyage with Los Angeles as a starting point and further reaches the cosmos as a destination. Okay, this released by Farmer Dave. Okay, that's the guy's name, is Dave Scherer, SCHERE, Scherer, who is a member of several West Coast bands such as the Beachwood Sparks and Kurt Vile's band. It's his first in 10 years with the new band, okay? The album is a culmination of living on the West Coast, playing in a variety of bands, and exploratory of the variety of music, art, and poetry. The geography of California uniforms his music, with his songs sounding soothing, warm, woozy, taking inspiration from the sun, surf, and nature. That is it. Very laid back West Coast sound. You have some experimental stuff on here. Not everybody likes the experimental. I really enjoy when people come out of the comfort zone and they're not afraid to experiment with their music, okay? And his voice on this album, when I was listening to this album, his voice kept reminding me of somebody, okay? And then it finally dawned on me, and I was like, this group, now I'm not going to say that they sound like this other group, okay? I'm not saying that they sound like them. But there's aspects of this group that reminds me of another group that I really enjoy, and that group is Phish. Okay, Fish, and this is the story of the ghost. Farmer Dave, his voice is soothingly smooth, like the artist of Fish here. Okay, the voices, and this album here is just, you know, this is everybody. If you guys know Fish, this album is phenomenal. But that's what it had aspects that reminded me of Fish. So anyway, I appreciate new music. I appreciate learning about more music, you know, because that's what it's about. Appreciate your kindness, sending me a letter. You know, check out Michael Christensen. You can check out Farmer Dave. They're both on Bandcamp. You know, Michael's got a YouTube channel. He's always hanging out with the cats, man, showing us love. You know, and showing this guy love, man, that goes a long way, man, because, you know, sometimes I'm not always a loving type, where I used to not always be the loving type person. I have straightened up my life. You know, we're approaching 1 year of sobriety, man, you know. And, okay, let's get into my picks this week. I went out digging Friday and yesterday, which was Saturday, and I picked up some stuff. I picked this up. This was, I ordered this in the mail. This is it's just a group called Sand, right there, and the album's name is Golem. Now, this is kind of more of your experimental jazz, you know, your experimental music, okay? Now, this isn't for everybody. I really enjoyed this. This is what they had. What I was looking for, and I bought this off of eBay. And this album, it's more colorful like this, okay? But they had this limited edition silver. You know, this is like, oh, man. So I ended up having to get this silver album. And I would have much preferred to have the one that was very colorful, like Michael's album here with the angelfish on it. Does that look like an angelfish to you guys? That looks like an angelfish. Beautiful. But anyway, I would have preferred to have all this in color instead of the silver. But this is a great album. I really enjoyed it. It's experimental type music. The guy's from England. He's got a degree in music, and fantastic group. It's not for everybody. Okay, now, most of my music, you know, it's really not for everybody. I was out digging, and I was at Omega Music, and I see this group. Now, you guys are going to be like, how do you not know this group? Okay, but I found this group this week. I discovered them this week, and I was sitting there looking through the records, and I pulled them up on Spotify, did a little sample while I was looking at the records, and I was like, oh, wow, man, these guys are really good. So they had two of their albums at Omega Music, and I've never heard of them, believe it or not. Hot Tuna. This group called Hot Tuna. And this album here, I guess it's the self-titled, I don't know. It says Hot Tuna on it. But this is like a live album. And oh my goodness, man, this is some good stuff. I've been enjoying this stuff. I picked up this album. And then I picked up this album. I picked up three of them. This one here is Hot Tuna Burgers. And this, even though it looks pretty war here, the record itself is in really good shape. There's the band on the back. You know, I know you guys are like, I can't believe Brother Brian's never heard of Hot Tuna, but I'm telling you, I just discovered them, man, and oh wow, I want more of their stuff, you know. And they had this one here. This one here is Hot Tuna Double Dose, and it was like $3 at Omega Music. It's $3 for a double album of Hot Tuna, man. Come on. Really, I really have enjoyed this music, man. So I picked those three albums up this week. I was listening to this last night, and I picked this up this week, and oh my goodness. Jose Feliciano, and then this is El Fantastico. It's the name of this album, and oh my goodness. Oh My goodness, this album is so good. So good. I just was blown away. I was listening to it. And the energy, the way that this album was produced, okay, it sounds fantastic, but it also has this raw acoustic vibe to it, you know. And I can't understand the thing that this guy's saying. Okay, he's singing it, and I can't understand nothing. But it's so beautiful, man. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful album. I want more of his music. I'll do some needle drops on some of this stuff this week, but I'm telling you what, man, if you like acoustical music, you will, this album right here, you would absolutely love. Even though you don't understand what they're saying, maybe you do. Maybe you're one of my Mexican brothers, and you understand everything. And if you are my Mexican brother, you do understand what I'm talking about here, because this is such a good album, man. I would definitely recommend it to anyone. I found this week. Now, this is a Lightning Hopkins album. I thought it was kind of curious. I'm a big Lightning Hopkins fan. He's the blues guy. And this was on the this label here. It's called Soul Parade. And I hope that's coming through for you guys. But it's all Soul Parade. Let me pull it out, show you the label. And I never seen this label before. But that's what the label looks like. And a lot of you probably wouldn't like the sound quality. It's not the most high fidelity. It doesn't have like the incredible, wonderful high fidelity. But in a lot of aspects, it has this rawness to it as well. And I enjoyed it. It was pretty dirty when I got it. I cleaned it up and I spun it last night. You know, but that's the thing about blues albums. The rawness just, sometimes it enhances the experience as well. So yeah, I got that Lightning Hopkins. And it's got some good songs on it too. It's got Mojo Hand on it, Walking Blues, Awful Dream, Worried Life Blues, Shine On Moon, I Would If I Could, Baby Please Don't Go, which, that's a classic. Have You Ever Loved a Woman? I mean, it's got some fantastic songs on there. There's the song list. And it was really cheap, it was really cheap. So I was like, I grabbed that up. I picked up this one, Guitarro. But, I'm a big Guitarro fan. This one here is The Light of the Spirit. And he's kind of like your Asian hippie, man. He's your Asian hippie. His music is very out there. He does a lot of experimental stuff too. I really enjoy it. He's an electronic guy, plays the synth, plays all kinds of different instruments. He's been on movie soundtracks and different things like that. But then I found this yesterday. Check this out. Arrested Development. Tennessee. 1991. The group is Arrested Development. And this is kind of I want to say it's an EP, but it's really not an EP. It's a full album. I mean, it's got 3 songs on one side, and then it's got 2 songs on the other side. It's got different versions of the song Tennessee. It has the traditional version. And, I don't know. It's just got that really funky stuff, man. I'm really into funk, man. If it's Motown or more modern stuff like this. Arrested Development. I see that it was $4 for this album, so man, I was all over. It's really a good copy too. It's really clean. All right, let's see what we got here. Now, let me go over some of these 45s before I get into some of this other stuff. And I usually don't pick up 45s. And they had some 45s yesterday. There was this one here. I picked that up. That, of course, that caught my eye. Okay, it's Buddha Records, Kama Sutra label. Gorgeous. This is the Jaggers. The name of the group is the Jaggers. And then it's got the wrapper on one side. And then it's got Board Pour on the other side. And I was listening to it. And this is like your older, your older 60s, 70s pop. Okay, so these guys, I'm assuming, was probably big back in the late 60s. And I was like, and the condition of this record is like brand new. I mean, I don't know if you can say, it's like a brand new condition. And it was a couple dollars. So I was like, I wonder what year this came out, right? And then I was looking, and there's the receipt. They have the receipt stuck in there. And it says Ontario. It was 72 cents. And it says here it was February 7th of 1970 is when it was purchased. And I'm going to leave that receipt right in there with it, man. I just thought that was so cool. So, yeah, I bought that. It was a couple dollars. And then I picked up this album. This is a MCA. It's got Patsy Cline on it. Look at that. Sweet Dreams. This is the first big hit that came out after she had passed away. This is a 1985 copy on MCA. And the condition, look at the condition. It's just beautiful condition. Patsy Cline, it was really cheap. It's got the sleeve, so I picked that up. And this one here is a little rougher. This one here, it's the Four Seasons. And this one here is on the VJ label. And it's got that great song we all know, Sherry. You know that song? I'm not going to sing it because I can't really sing. But it's got that song, Sherry. It's a little bit rougher. But it was really cheap, So I picked it up. I'm like, I would enjoy that. So I picked that up. And then this one here, I'm not going to take them out of plastic. This was an old Columbia Bumblebee, black and yellow, Johnny Cash. And this one here, it's What Do I Care on one side, and then it's got All Over Again on the other side. So I see that, I'm like, wow, look at that old Columbia label, man. That is so old. I don't know when he transitioned from Sun to Columbia or from Columbia to Sun. I don't know. You guys know these things. I don't know. But I picked that up. That was a good little find. And then I picked up these dudes. And you guys can help me out on these. I don't know. These were some Beatles 45s, okay? These were still in the sleeve. The condition's pretty good on these. The condition, it's... You guys can see the condition of it. And this is Let It Be. And this one here's You Know My Name on the other side. And they're in the sleeve. These were really cheap, so I couldn't pass them up. And then I picked up 3 of them. Okay, I got 3 of them. Then this one here is Revolution. And then Hey Jude on this side. And if you guys know, I don't know if you could tell or not, but what year were these pressed? I don't know how old these things are. I'm guessing they're probably 80s. Maybe they came out in the 80s. I don't think these are original. Not with this nice of a sleeve. I'm thinking the older was probably not. Maybe I'm wrong. And picked up The Long and Winding Road here. And For You Blue, okay? Now, I'm not really familiar with this song, For You Blue. It was really good. It was like this bluesy Beatles tune, man. And it was like blues and pop intertwined. And I really enjoyed it. And let me tell you something right now, man. I want to tell you, man, I played Revolution last night on the 45. Oh my goodness. I've never heard Revolution sound so good. It was so nasty and mean on a 45, man. That needle was ripping through this thing, man. It was, Revolution, where that guitar's just playing and stuff, man. I've never heard Revolution sound so good. This was the best version of Revolution I've ever heard. It was unbelievable. So if you really want to I'm telling you, man, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. All right, so let's get to the rest of these pretty quickly. Okay, now these are some stuff that some more stuff I picked up. The best of country duets I picked up. I like the compilation albums here. This got Porter and Dolly on it. Porter and Dolly, Hank Snow and Anita Carter. It's got Waylon Jennings and Anita Carter. Skeeter Davis and Don Bowen. It's got a lot of great duets on this album. You know, a lot of people will overlook these things, man. But, you know, when I seen right at the top, it said Porter and Dolly at the top, I said, you know, it was $3. I paid $3 for this. It's an old original, man. It's fantastic. Picked up this here. This is a folk, an old, like, turn of the century type, historical, educational type album I love. That's my rabbit. My dog caught it. You know, it's like your traditional Southern instrumentals, and fantastic. I love stuff like this. You know, I just love it. I listened to this and really enjoyed it. It kind of takes you back to the turn of the century, the 1800s, you know, to the 1900s, you know. The Wilburn Brothers' Greatest Hits. Picked that up. Picked up Hank Snow, the Jimmie Rodgers story. It talks about Jimmie Rodgers. Hank Snow does this album, and it talks about being a hobo. There's a lot of talking on this, but there's also a lot of wonderful music on this killer album. I really enjoy this. Bruce Hornsby on the Range. I picked that up this week. This one here's Scenes from the South Side. You know, we all are familiar with this album. You know, Bruce Hornsby is a classic, you know, killer musician. We'll stick together. Like I said, anytime I see a Kitty Wells anymore, I can just pick it up. It's Kitty Wells and Johnny Wright. I listen to this. It's a beautiful album. Her voice is incredible. Weather Report. I see this and I was like, all right, man. Can't see the back. It's got the sleeve outside of the insert here, but this one here is Weather Report, Sweet Nighter. It's a great album, man. I love Weather Report. We all love Weather Report, man. They're good. They're good. And check this out. I see this in the stack over at Omega Music. It's just another radio station record, okay? This is an air date. It's with special guest Conway Twitty. November 29th of 1982. And it's got, I'm not going to go through all the music and stuff like that, but man, I see these old radio station albums, man, and I'm all over it, man. Let me pull that out so you get a kind of look. It's the Ralph Emery Show. I don't know if you can see that or not. The Ralph Emery Show, Conway Twitty, 11/29/82. And these things are cheap, man. It's just like around in my neck of the woods here in Dayton, Ohio. Man, you can get these things for on the cheap. So it's just like I grab every one I could get if I can, you know. So that's all I got for you, man. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me, man. Brother Bryce sends his love and encouragement. Y'all be good to one another, man. And thank you for hanging out if you made it this long, man. God bless you, man. I'm out of here.